The world had grown quiet after the war between humans and the alien race known as the Illyrians. Cities rebuilt wounds covered old scars, but fear lingered. Trust had been shattered and borders between worlds remained locked behind steel and silence. Deep in the wastelands of forgotten Earth, Sector, a man named Callan lived alone. He had once been a medic during the war, patching up soldiers and civilians alike. After the war ended, he chose solitude. No one questioned it. No one came looking for him. He liked it that way. His home was a crumbling shelter made of scavenged parts, surrounded by broken drones, and a silent field of tall dry grass. Every morning, he walked to a nearby stream to gather water. Every night, he sat beneath the stars and listened to the wind. That was his life. Simple, empty, until the night he saw the flames. They rose not far from the northern hill, bright orange against the dark sky. He grabbed his old pack and ran. The war had taught him never to ignore smoke. Where there was fire, there was someone in trouble. He reached the crash site within minutes. A small transport ship lay twisted among the rocks, one side still burning faintly. The design was Illyrian, not military, but civilian. His heart pounded. The ship hissed steam and heat radiated off its hull. Then he heard the cry. A soft sound like a broken melody. Weak, afraid. He stepped carefully inside the wreckage, flashlight in hand. There among the shadows lay a figure. Female, thin silver blue skin torn, clothing eyes wide with panic. Her arms were wrapped around a smaller shape. A child. The girl's eyes were shut, her body limp. The woman looked up as Callan approached her. Her voice trembled. Please, I beg you, do not harm her. She is all I have. Callan raised his hand slowly. I am not here to hurt you, he said. I am here to help. The woman stared for a long moment, then nodded faintly. Her arms tightened around her child. I am Sarah, she whispered, and this is my daughter Lynn. Callan looked at the girl. She was breathing but shallow, skin pale, energy low. Her lips were dry and cracked. She needed help and fast. He carried them both back to his shelter. For days he nursed the child, carefully feeding her liquids and medicine. The alien physiology was similar enough to humans. Her fever broke slowly, her pulse grew stronger. Sarah never left her side. She barely slept, barely moved. Only watched with eyes full of sorrow. One night, as Callan sat outside, Sarah came to him. Her hands trembled as she spoke. She has not smiled since our village was destroyed. They came with fire, took everything. My mate died defending us. Lynn was once full of laughter. Now she does not even look at the stars. Callan listened without interrupting. He had heard many stories like hers. But hearing it from a mother, holding on to the last piece of her heart, was different. I do not know how to help her, Sarah said. She has forgotten what joy feels like. She wakes with fear, sleeps with silence. I do not know if I can bring her back. Callan looked at the night sky. Maybe she just needs time, and someone who shows her it is still okay to feel safe. In the days that followed, Callan did not speak much to Lynn. He did not try to force words or smiles. He simply sat nearby when she played with old scraps of metal or painted strange shapes in the dirt. He offered her water when she forgot to drink and food when she pushed her plate away. Slowly, she began to notice him. One afternoon, she placed a small stone beside his boot. He picked it up and nodded. Nice find, he said. The next day, she gave him a stick, then a flower, then a drawing. Sarah watched with wet eyes. She trusts you, she whispered. I never thought she would trust anyone again. Callan shook his head. I am not doing anything special. I am just here. Sarah placed her hand over her heart. To us, that is everything. As the weeks passed, Lynn began to speak. Short words at first, then questions, then laughter. She followed Callan when he repaired broken solar panels. She asked about earth plants. She drew pictures of birds and stars and strange creatures she saw in dreams. Then one evening she smiled. It was small and soft, but it was real. Her lips curved, her eyes lit up, and Sarah fell to her knees weeping. She covered her mouth as if afraid the sound would vanish. "My daughter forgot how to smile, human," she said through tears. "But you showed her something nowhere ever could. You showed her real love." Callan did not know what to say. He only reached down and touched her shoulder. From that day, Lynn smiled often. She ran through the grass, chasing light bugs. She danced in the rain. She sang songs in her alien tongue and taught Callan the words. The shelter once filled with silence now echoed with music and laughter. Sarah began to smile too. Her eyes no longer carried just pain but hope. She cooked meals using local herbs and shared stories of her people. She sat beside Callan in the evenings and watched the stars with quiet peace. "You could have turned us away," she said one night, "but instead you gave us a reason to keep breathing." Callan took a deep breath. "I think maybe I was the one who needed saving." He had not realized how heavy the silence had become until they broke it. Months passed. The seasons shifted. A new ship arrived from the outer colonies carrying news. The war was truly over. Peace treaties were signed. The Zareth Council had declared humans and Illyrians allies at last. Refugees were being offered safe passage to rebuild. Sarah was offered a place among the new colonies. A home. A future. She looked at Callan with tears in her eyes. "I do not want to leave you," she said, "but Lynn deserves more than a ruin." Callan nodded. "I understand." But Lynn refused. She ran to Callan, wrapped her arms around his leg, and cried, "I do not want to go without you. Please come with us." He looked at her, then at Sarah. His heart ached. He had built walls around himself to avoid pain, to avoid loss. But these two had walked right through those walls and brought warmth where there was only cold. He knelt beside the girl. "Then I will come," he said. Sarah wept again. And so they left together. The new colony bloomed with life. Green fields, blue rivers, shining towers. Lynn ran through the open gardens, laughing with other children. Sarah worked with healers, sharing her knowledge. Callan became part of the community, teaching survival, farming, and peace. Years passed. The pain of the past faded, but the bond they formed remained unshaken. People often asked how a human came to live with two Illyrians so far from Earth. He would only smile and say, "I thought I was alone, but love found me in the wreckage." And somewhere in that new world, a child who once forgot how to smile now laughed every day, surrounded by the love that saved her.